Did you look? Look, you can get Gizzy in it.
Yeah, come on, Giz, come get in. Come get in the picture.
Okay.
All right. So here we are in Wisconsin for the summer, and we are starting our 3rd year of nomadic life, full-time RV living. So I thought we'd do a quick video about our impressions so far and what we've learned a bit. So I think maybe start off with what's the favorite places that we've been. So what's your favorite place?
The favorite places that I've been, I love New England. I love that whole area up there. Didn't get a chance to really explore the other states, but Maine, we went through Maine and stayed at, it's inland. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, Bangor.
Bangor, Maine, yeah.
Yeah, Bangor.
And then we went to Bahaba. And that's how they say it there, so that's how I like to say it, because it's funny. Anyway, that's been my very favorite, top of the list, whale watching off the coast of Bahaba. We went out there about 45 minutes out into the Atlantic Ocean. I'd only do it once. I don't want to disturb the, like my husband says, disturbing the wildlife with the stuff fuel coming off the, I don't know, what was that thing we were on?
Catamaran.
It's like a huge catamaran. So, but we saw a lot of awesome creatures. So that has to be my favorite place. And then Astoria, Oregon, where we're up on this high hill where they have this, well, it's like a history pole, but I call it more like a kind of a totem pole type of thing that George went up inside of it, flew an airplane, little paper airplane off the top of that tower. But I'm afraid of heights, so I couldn't do that. But just looking out where the Columbia River and the Pacific Ocean converge is unbelievable sight.
Yeah.
And then Glacier Lake in southern Oregon, where our son-in-law Andy hooked us up about going there.
Crater Lake.
Oh, I'm sorry, Crater Lake, beautiful place, magical. And then of course Montana, Glacier National Park, and we saw this huge moose down in the river valley, and it was huge. I've never, besides the whales, it's majestic. I've never seen a moose like that size. It was gigantic, and it had the little beard that hangs down. So it was just majestic. Those are my favorite places that we have visited.
Yeah, I liked all of
so
those.
far.
I liked all of those
And I'm
too.
glad I got to see them all.
I'm not a big fan of the east, just because, although Maine was better because you're on the coast and you can see, but you don't get the same views of wide openness, or maybe the same feeling of wide openness that you get in a lot of the western states. But Maine, yeah,
everybody should go. And they say you should go in the fall and see the leaves changing and stuff, and I bet that is unbelievable too. Yeah. So in the narrow streets, low bridges, because it's the oldest part of the United States, basically, I think. Anyway, it's hard to drive a big old RV. It takes a lot of stress on a person, and he's getting older. And so, anyway, we might go another time. I hope we did go another time, but try to space it out you know, and so, yeah, I think so too. I hope we can. So, anyway, go ahead and tell them your favorite places.
I love Glacier, you know, Montana. I like New Mexico a lot, especially that place we stay where I can go fly fishing a bunch of times. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but it's close to Durango, Colorado, which is a nice place to visit. But that's probably my favorite spot that we spend significant time in. And surprisingly, Wisconsin. You know, it's like we had to leave Wisconsin to come back and appreciate how incredibly beautiful parts of this state are. Of course, wintertime, you know, kind of makes it not so great, but it's nice to come back and spend some time.
I forgot to mention Idaho too, because my nieces and their boyfriends live there, and my niece Alex took us to, what do you call it, Twin Falls by
Yeah, we went to the falls in Twin Falls, and
what
we
was it
explored
close
that area.
to? Burley. It's pretty close to Burley, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that
All right,
that
that
was
area.
absolutely really something to see too. And we went and saw Ernest Hemingway's gravesite in Idaho, and that was what was the town? Ketchum. Yeah, the cemetery. It's small and it's kind of on a little hill, but on top of his gravestone, which is rectangular and pretty huge, there was a beer can and a pen and some coins and a bottle. What was that? A bottle of
Scotch.
Scotch. Yeah, I think so. And another, like a 4-pack of beer sitting alongside of it. So people go and throw little things on his gravesite. It looked to me it had to have been people that knew him, you know, knew what he liked and stuff like that. So that was really cool too.
Yeah, people doing tributes.
Yeah.
Some kind of tributes. So yeah, I think, you know, if we were going to summarize it, the traveling part.
Well, you like fly fishing in northern New Mexico. You
Yeah.
didn't mention that.
Oh yeah. I loved all of that. I like the West, so I'm pretty content. You know, we've discovered that neither one of us are fans of the desert,
No.
and probably, you know, when we started out on this venture, one of the things that I envisioned was that we'd be living dirt cheap, camping for free almost everywhere in places like the desert.
I would never have stayed along the ride if that was the case. That first year we did that, stayed in Imperial Valley, California, and it's hell. I mean, to me, it's equivalent to hell. And I got really depressed, and I'm not that kind of person that gets depressed, really. And I thought, I can't do this. Missing my family, freaking desert with no green, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little more flexible than that, but I get tired of it. You know,
I gotta
I'm okay with it.
I have to have good
few
soil
weeks.
and green.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of green in the desert. But that's one of the drawbacks when you're trying to stay places where it's warm, is that
It's not worth it.
It's you're gonna have to go to where it's warm, and sometimes that means places that are arid. But we found a few spots. I enjoyed the little place we stayed called Dateland. You know, it wouldn't be an attraction anybody in their right mind would go search out and stay
Only
at.
men would like it.
But I did enjoy our couple weeks we spent there. But it's not the place that I would like put on my list to need to go back to. It's a place I would stop at on my way, you know, somewhere else. So, you know, I think traveling has been, you know, that's the whole concept, of course, is if you're nomadic, is to move. And for me, that part of it has been just incredible. I love the constant change. But I don't know how you feel about life on the road now that we've done it for a couple of years.
Well, I think we live in a 438 square foot home, do we not?
Yeah, or maybe a little smaller than that.
Yeah, and Well, that's hard. 2 people living in that little area, and basically that's all the people are you and your spouse. And so that gets a little long in the tooth sometimes. That's a small space. So at least the bedroom in the back where I have my TV and all my stuff and all my pictures of my family and grandkids and their paintings and stuff, like their artwork. So that's my private space. And the whole rest of it out here, and the bathroom divides us, so we share that. And this is all his out here. So I think that's the only way that I could ever do it. I'd have to have my own section, which I do.
Yeah.
But it gets hard, I mean, like we already had our last fight was probably 45 minutes ago.
You've been married long?
31 years.
You get along all right? No fights? No battles?
Why, no.
Then don't buy a trailer. I'm telling you, don't buy a trailer.
So, I'm just being honest,
Yeah, it's.
We gotta really like each other, and we've always liked each other, kind of thing. But you really fine-tooth that love-hate relationship. You're really fine-tuning it. I mean. But we like same kind of scenery, and it's fun to discover new places with somebody that you care about and like, and then you got that childhood glee in your voices, so that's pretty magical.
Yeah,
too.
I would agree. I'm surprised how well I've come to love the small space, aside from the fact that you get tired of one another, after you've spent all your time and you don't have friends that you're going out with on a regular basis, that kind of thing.
Well, I don't need that. I just, friends and family that I already have gathered.
But I'm surprised at how I've realized that, and I still have a lot of crap, technical stuff, computer stuff, camera stuff, but other than that, I think I've realized how little really need. I mean, we threw away or gave away so much stuff when we moved into the RV, and a year later we basically did that again and probably got rid of almost half of the stuff we originally put in as extra clothes and some stuff we discovered we just never even got out of the
If it got
basement.
dusty, then you don't need it.
And
That's how I looked at it.
And I think if we did that again, we'd probably be surprised how much stuff. In fact, I know I've got a bunch of crap I need to just give up on and get rid of. But what it does bring out is that as Americans, man, we use a lot of resources that we don't need to. So I'm glad we put the solar panels on because there are times when we don't hook up. We do spend a week or two out boondocking, and it's nice not to be using any significant resources. And we don't spend a lot of time driving. You would think that we would, but really we sit quite a while at each place that we go to. So we aren't, the first year I think we traveled more, and I think we've slowed down a lot.
Well, we were staying a lot of KOAs because we we just kind of going by the seat of our pants. So we were staying out of KOAs, you know how that is. So you just move on. You stay a couple days and rest and move on, right?
Right.
So.
And we've gotten away from that.
Well, we're getting older too, and it's hard on you to pick up and move and drive, and
Yeah, it's definitely better to. I just like the much slower pace, and we're different. And I did a video about our philosophy. Even though we're doing touristy things like going to Maine and whale watching and that kind of thing, that's not our driving force, so to speak. It's more the experience of actually being in an area, and so we tend to stay in small towns.
That's like where we're at now. Yeah.
Yeah.
George did a video of it. Right now at this point in time, this is the most beautiful place that I feel like I've seen yet. It's these green rolling hills, and there's every kind of green that you could want to see, and pristine farms. You know, Scandinavian people settled here, and you know, it's just a beautiful area. I don't think people realize that the upper Midwest has a lot of beauty, and the Great Lakes now we've been to 2 Great Lakes, right? Or have you been to 3? And it's like going to the ocean, but you know, it's not.
But it's fresh water.
Yeah.
It's like a step
I mean, people
better.
should visit the Great Lakes. Don't not go. You don't miss that. Oh my God. Quaint villages on coastlines, just like you'd see in Maine or in the Great Northwest along the coast, you know. And it's got a lot of fun things to offer at a probably more reasonable price than some of the places along the ocean coastline of the United States.
Well, it's definitely underappreciated, but it's fantastically comfortable in the summertime.
Yeah.
At least this summer. I mean, I know sometimes
We
the
just had a
mosquitoes
few
can be
days,
bad, but
few days in the 90s. You know, more than I think normal, but
yeah, and the air conditioner is running right now. I'm sure you can hear that in the video. But yeah, it's. I would agree with you. This has been a beautiful place. We've only stayed 2 places the entire summer. A friend's farm, which was fantastic.
Had a beautiful view too of the countryside.
Yeah, and then here in both of them, and
yeah, we're really happy that we got to stay here, even though it's the only drawback is it's a little too far from our family, our grandkids, and our daughter and her husband, so her son-in-law. But we've made it work.
So so what would you change? I mean, what are your feelings?
Well, I think it's a good idea that we go now. I mean, we're doing it now because in a few years I don't know about being able to do it, you know, and physically, you know, able to really do it. So I think I'm glad that we're starting it now, not like you being some kind of 65-year-old man driving a great big RV around, right? You know, for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be danger to other people. Well, you know, I'm glad we're doing it now, you know, and then, you know, when we can't do it, we'll stop doing it, or, you know, or we don't want to do it anymore, we'll stop doing it. And I'm happy with that. So.
Yeah, I think I would put myself in that category. I don't mind driving the RV. It's actually harder to drive than the semi I drove. It doesn't handle nearly as well, but it's not like it's dangerous exactly. But anytime you're driving a big vehicle, there's a lot you have to be aware of and be careful of, especially if you're in the mountains and you've got air brakes and all that stuff. But and that's one thing that I think my vision from before we started to do this, of camping out in these wilderness areas, I think my vision has been adjusted to where I much prefer national forest campgrounds over BLM land. We do both, but I like having real places to get the RV into, because the roads, when you're dealing with just complete wilderness, the roads are very rough, and you're basically driving your house through what amounts to an earthquake all day, shaking everything to pieces, and there's constantly stuff that you're fixing in an RV. So my vision has adjusted a bit to more, yes, we still search for those off the beaten path, out of the way places, but much less wild sort of places, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm. We could just take the car into those.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So my vision of that and what the reality is are 2 different things.
Yeah.
But I see that in other people. So if I were going to change something, and I wouldn't change it because I think I love our house. I really do. It's probably a little big for what we do, the kind of RVing that we do, but it's great. and
It has to be this size.
it's, you know, it's comfortable. But if you were gonna really be a wild wilderness sort of camper, you definitely want something way smaller than this.
And if he wants to continue on, you know, I can stay with my daughter and her husband. They have it downstairs. It fits me really well, and he wants to keep going a little longer than I might want to, then he can get a van and live the van life.
Yeah,
You know, because I think that's only for one person.
yeah, one person.
And then
would
he
be-
can have those experiences and come back and share them with us. And I mean, they're, you know, whatever works.
Yeah, I would
You
do
know,
the
I'm
van
happy
thing.
either way.
But the other thing that is surprising to me is I don't, you know, part of it's because of my work, but the other part of it is that it's hard nowadays, once you've gotten used to it, to go without internet connectivity for very long. And so,
Satellite.
yeah, satellite and internet are two things, especially when college football season comes around. Man, I've got to have my satellite TV.
I gotta have my TV too. I've always loved TV, always.
And we're done with satellite radio.
No,
So,
don't recommend.
end of that. So I'm looking forward to this year. What do you want to do this year? We haven't even really made official plans, even though we're going to be leaving here in a week or so or two.
Okay, we were thinking about going back up to the Great Lakes because I lost my Great Lakes shirt and I want to get another one. And revisiting of the Great Lakes again because it's so awesome. And then I want to go to Colorado to Estes Park. I've never been there yet. And I saw pictures that my sister and brother-in-law had. And that sounds like a great place to go too. Then we want to go up to Montana and revisit some land up there and pay homage to Native Americans. There's a monument up there and we want to pay homage to them, and George did a video about that. And so we want to go do that. That's very important. And then we'll just go across and, you know, Idaho, visit my nieces and our nieces, I should say, and, you know, go down on the coast of Washington, Oregon, and California, go back into California. That's what I was thinking. So
I think we can make that work. The only problem we've got is that we're, you know,
and then you want to go
winter-
fishing in New Mexico too.
Yeah, the winter comes so quickly in a place like in the mountainous areas of Montana, as an example, that, you know, we kind of have to
Well, we'll
get over there quickly.
do what we can do. You know, that's the plan. Stand
And
as it's set. But I'll never go in the mountains with snow ever again. I'll get a plane ticket.
well, Monarch Pass is a little.
Well, we don't have to. But anyway, you asked and I told you, and so now we'll tell the people what you want to do.
I just want to wander. I'm not too.
Well, then see, I gave him a path, and he doesn't really care.
Yeah,
So
I'm willing to
we'll go.
follow
If
that
it's
path.
safe, we go. If it's not, we put it on the list and
Yeah.
try her again.
Definitely want to get back to Montana, and I invited my brother-in-law to go fly fishing when they head back to Arizona, which is around Thanksgiving. So hopefully we'll be back fly fishing in New Mexico by that time. I know that Terry's had to struggle more than me, and I appreciate that she's done that.
He's always gotten his way. I've never had a plan. That's the trouble. He always had ideas and dreams, and I just went along with them.
Except this was her idea.
Well, not
I might remind you of that.
her. My plan was a little different than yours.
Well, yes, you wanted to hit the road in a trailer.
I wanted to get one of those retro trailers. then of course he puts his whole idea in. We can't live in that. We have to live in something self-contained. And well, he was absolutely right, but I, didn't go along with it right away. I had this whole thing in my head that I just love those retro trailers, but that's kind of a one-person thing, and he was right. We needed this kind of a home to really live in it and not have any other home. But
yeah, I think those little trailers would have been okay for
yeah, it would have been not good
for occasion. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe and follow us. We'll see what year 3 brings to the table, but looking forward to it.